Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're taking a look at a company called Econ Gaming. .us. You guys can go check out their link down in the description if you guys want to go check it out for yourself. So Econ Gaming is another company that is looking to enter in the value market of gaming PCs. So this company is going to first off be a very small company, because I first saw when their site went up and I could already tell that this is a small company. Now they have updated their site to make it look a little bit better. It does, got a better finish to it, but dude, the amount of pop-ups that I have been getting has been insane. Basically, whenever you load a page or reload any sort of page, they basically have a pop-up system in place to ask you for your email to get some sort of offer. You'll be getting either, free shipping on your next gaming PC over $750, which basically isn't really a steal, because most companies, if you pay like upwards of $600, they're just going to send it to you for free anyways. And if you buy anything off Amazon that has, over a $25 value, you're going to get free shipping. So, buying a PC off of Amazon from a company like Skytech is going to give you kind of the same offer. Now, the other reason why I dislike pop-ups, it kind of destroys people's experience on your own website. It's almost detrimental to what you're doing. Now, I'm fine with a little box that shows up in the corner to ask for your email information for a actual, promotion, not just kind of like, oh, you get free shipping with a $750 PC. It's not really a promotion. It's more of a, a take, because they're getting your email and they're going to send you a bunch of spam stuff with it, of course. But we can overlook that. I think that they are just trying to get as many customers in because, again, they are a smaller company. Now, one of the things that I do like about their site is that it is actually pretty nice and orderly. It's all set up to look fairly professional, but the other thing is that they definitely stole a lot of these pictures from other people's stock photos. I guess stole might not be the right word, probably borrowed from Google Images or something like that. We have the Cooler Master case here that is definitely not one of their photos. I've seen these photos multiple times from, the same case. I forget the exact model of this case. But they also took the Xbox Game Pass picture of the Master Chief, Batman, and this girl from Gears of War. So, that's cool. Now again, these guys are budget dudes. They don't just sell high-end PCs, even though they do. They mostly just sell lower-end ones. And you see what I mean by every time you have a new page, they just have a pop-up. It's super annoying, and you're probably going to see it for this entire video of me. Whenever I click on something that redirects me to somewhere else on their website, I get a pop-up, and it's super annoying, and please take it out. And if Econ Gaming is watching this video, if you guys are at all paying attention to what I'm doing here, please at least add a randomizer to it, so it's not every single time you get it, maybe every 5 times you click on it, because I still understand why you might want to have this kind of stuff, but don't make it the whole entire freaking screen, and don't make it so that you can't do anything else until you click off the X button, because it is super annoying. Alright, I'm gonna cut out the rest of those times that I get these interruptions, but dude, it sucks so much. Alright, so all of their gaming computers that they have everything listed from a $1,000 to a $500 one, and then they all scale up from there. Now, of course, we're gonna be taking a look at the $500 one first, because I think that's where a lot of my audience is actually looking at, is the lower tier guys that are still pretty decent value. Dude, I'm kind of done with this. So you get all these different options over here on the right side. You can pick between the standard and the ultra edition. I'll talk about that more in a second. You get the difference between a half a terabyte and a terabyte hard drive. As well, you can have a SSD as your boot drive, which I would definitely opt for if you're picking any sort of PC. Definitely don't have your boot drive as a hard drive, because it's just going to be so slow and it's going to get slower over time. I would definitely buy a SSD for the boot drive. Now, in terms of specs, it's actually not that bad. You've got a Ryzen 3 3200G, a GTX 1650, 8GB of RAM, a Asus A320M motherboard, a non-rated 500 watt PSU, which kind of sucks because you're not really going to be getting that much upgradability if you want to throw in a better GPU here later, because 500 watts unrated is probably just going to give you enough to have an 8-pin power connector. If even that, and a lot of higher tier GPUs will take more than an 8-pin power connector. And then for our case, I've seen this case fairly often. It's an AeroCool case. This is fairly popular in the budget end. I wouldn't call it a good case by any means. It really isn't the best to build in. It's got these little punch out PCIe slot covers. I think it does come with some extra ones to put in if you want, but I'd be surprised if these guys include those with it just for the ease of use. All the computers that I've built with this case I do always include the slot covers because I think that when people swap out different things, that they are definitely going to want the slot covers. Because I think it just looks dumb when a PC has just empty PCIe slots without anything covering it. It just looks like it has gaping holes in the back of it. Now, it does have this RGB strip, I guess, if you guys are into that kind of thing, though I really don't care about RGB. I'd rather care about my performance than anything else. But for a lot of people, RGB is a really big thing for them. So with the Ultra Edition, they offer something a little bit more, and it costs you around $50 more to get an upgrade in basically just the GPU. So instead of getting a GTX 1650, you get a GTX 1650 Super, which I kind of see. It's actually not that bad of a cost for an upgrade like that. And you know, it's actually pretty decent value. So the configuration that, you know, I would go for is probably the Ultra Edition with a 1TB hard drive with a 248GB SSD. And you know, that's $600. I think that's a pretty good price range for a lot of people. But who would I be if I didn't compare these against other companies that I have talked about? VRLA Tech, baby! So the Rogue has been a staple on this channel for a long time. I've been recommending it for a pretty good amount of time since ever I've taken a look at VRLA Tech, and they recently updated them, and they've actually got pretty similar specs to what this Econ Gaming machine has. So to fill you guys in, the VRLA Tech one has the same processor, a Ryzen 3 3200G, roughly the same motherboard, a 1TB hard drive, a 500W 80 plus power supply, so this one is rated, unlike the one from Econ Gaming. You get a Windows 10 Pro activation license, as well you get 16GB of RAM, which is double the amount that you get on this one, and then you get an AMD Radeon RX 570. Now for this model that I chose, I did not want to go with the 1TB hard drive because that just sucks. Like I said, hard drives are terrible for boot drives, so I included a 256GB SSD. So the Econ Gaming one is coming out at exactly $600, while the Rogue is coming out at a bit more than $600. Now in terms of actual performance, if you're getting exactly what Econ is saying, you're gonna get like marginally better frames on this machine because of the GTX 1650 Super. Like the RX 570 and the GTX 1650 Super are around the same performance. I mean, I think the 1650 Super is just a tiny bit better, but not worth noting, I guess. Like I think it's like within 5%. It's a fairly minimal increase in performance. Now, I definitely think that VRLA Tech wins out here. Just because you get double the RAM capacity, you do get a certified power supply, which is very important in most PCs. You want to have an 80 plus certified power supply, because if you don't have a certified power supply, you really don't know the longevity of it. As well, their 500W 80 plus power supply is a pretty big necessity for a gaming PC. You want to have, I think this is probably the bare minimum that I would have in any gaming computer. Just because I think the 80 plus efficiency rating is going to allow you to be comfortable with upgrading sometime in the future. As well, if you're buying something that does not have any certification, you have no idea what kind of longevity it is going to have in its future lifespan. So who would have thought VRLA Tech is still the value king? The Rogue is still a phenomenal gaming PC to buy. But again, I guess if you want to go NVIDIA, dude, I hate these pop-ups so much. If you want to go NVIDIA, you know, you can go with these guys. Now, I've looked at most of their stuff. It's basically the same story. They're within margin of what VRLA Tech is offering. So it's really not worth me going over it that much, but I did want to take a look at their custom computers. And there are none. There are no custom computers that you can configure on their site. They are such a small company that you actually need to sit down and talk with them, which I think some people might like. There's not a whole lot of companies that can do this, mostly because they are big and they get a lot of orders. If you are a small company, you can actually sit down with clients and talk about what their necessities are. Now, I'm not an advocate of saying, yeah, you should go and do this, but if you have done it, please talk about it in the comment section below and talk about your experiences, because I think that there are a lot of people who might be watching this video who would be very inclined to hear your opinion on what their support was like, what the conversation was like, what the PC was like. If you guys have any experience with this company whatsoever, it'd be nice to hear, because I've talked about some companies that at face value have had some pretty decent offerings like Viper Tech, but in reality they're not a great company at all. Basically not a scam per se, but it's definitely pretty close to it. But guys, please leave your stuff down in the description if you guys have ever bought from it. I'd really like to help all those people down in the comment section. And I'm probably not gonna. I'd love to see an email from these guys. I think that'd be dope. Just for them to come up with a public statement. I'd definitely do a video on it if they want to talk about it. I'm doing another video on Viper Tech. Subscribe for that because it should be a pretty juicy piece. We'll be talking about all the shenanigans that company's been getting into. It should be coming out sometime next week. This will be my last video for this week. I'll probably end up streaming for the rest of the week. I'll be editing the crap. Saying again, I've got to write the script for that Viper Tech video because it's not just a video I can just sit down and talk about and rant about like this one. I actually kind of got to put stuff together and make a cohesive argument. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed the content, please leave a like. It really helps me out. So yeah, guys, see you in the next one.